What's up? Before I get into how I made the beat for 26, I want to, announce a few things. I got new merch finally on my website. It's been a long time coming. It doesn't quite look like this. This is just one of the print mishaps that came in the last batch. I just keep those because there's nothing else I can do with them, and I don't even have any normal merch, or I'd be wearing it for you guys. But the back is kind of close. That's what it looks like on the back. Super cozy, super comfortable. I got more t-shirts and stuff up there. I also have skateboard decks for any of my skaters out there.
Go.
Just head on over to wonder94.com/merch if you want to cop some swag. Feeling like a YouTube vlogger now, but speaking of skate decks, I was just in Charlotte the other day for my interview with Power Block Radio, and I was getting bored before the actual interview. I had like 2 or 3 hours to kill, so I went by a skate shop in Charlotte. I was looking for a new deck because my deck is kind of fucked up here. All the edges are just getting screwed up. You can see I skate hard. So I was looking for a new deck to buy, and I actually stumbled upon this one. It's this Fuck a Mob deck. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of wild. You got this crazy dude with his ass out. But yeah, the dude who was in the shop, I think he was just hanging out around there. He actually makes these decks, and I felt bad because I kind of just copped it because it was $37, and I just wanted a cheap deck. And he asked me, why did you choose that deck? And that's pretty much what I told him. He was cool with it, but I told him I'd shout him out on, social media or whatever. So if you're looking for a dope skate deck and you're looking for a cool place to, grab other skate gear, Fuck a Mob. They got them on IG. They also are super pro Black Lives Matter, and they really have some cool movements going on for skateboarders, skating for a cause, and that's another dope reason to go check them out. But yeah, a little shout out to those guys. So enough said, wonder94.com/merch if you want new merch or a skateboard, a Wonder94 skateboard. But yeah, we're just gonna jump into how I made the beat for 26. Now this is one of my slower records, so I was a little nervous to put it out at first, but I'm pretty stoked about how it came out, and I did a little bit more of the playing the instruments on this one instead of just using samples the entire time. But with that being said, I'm gonna start off with a sample. So the first thing I did was I got the sample off Splice. It's called, check my notes. It's called the ELX_NLW synth. Here we go. Now I didn't use the whole thing. I just took that. I really just used 2 parts of it, basically, so it sounds like. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these serum chords. A lot of times when I'm using these things in serum, I'll go in and I'll mess with the FX, and I'll just tweak it a little bit just to sound, my own. But I got this key tape piano Oliver. I got it off Splice. It's a pretty cool sound. Here's what it sounds like that. So here's the synth. So nothing crazy, pretty simple. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in this soft sine sound. So just open serum, it's called Pad Yeezy. Not sure why it's called that. But here's what that sounds like. Has a cool little airy sound to it. Pan it a little bit to the left. So I'm gonna go ahead and record the soft sine. Nothing crazy, as always. that's how I did that. So the next thing I did was I went in and added this sound on Serum. It's a key tape piano by Oliver. Has like a pluck, kind of cool like pluck sound to it. I kind of EQ'd it a little bit just to take some of the high end out of it. But here's what the pluck sounds like. So the next thing I did was I went and added this Serum thing. It's called BA Access to Mothership Denied. Some kind of like weird alien shit. It sounds like a cool like lead instrument. And every slow song I feel like needs like a cool like little lead. So yeah, here's what I did for the lead. Almost sounds like you get a little bit more feel in the song. And then the last thing I did, I kind of added these in towards the end, was I used the same exact synth sound and I did one more little lead. And I kind of brought it up a little bit higher on this one. All right, so here's the second lead. Alright, so the next thing I did was I went and added some drums. The snare I used was a Foreign Tech, it's a bare rim snare. So that's what it sounds like right there. Yeah, so here's what I did for the snare. Quantize it and then move on to the next thing. Next thing I did was I added a hi-hat. This one's called a Foreign Tech 6 hi-hat. Sounds like that. I kind of EQ'd it a little bit just to take off some of the high end again. That's it. So now we have the hat. And the next thing I did was I added a hat roll. 24 hi-hat, just a little sound. I'm gonna drag that in and then I'm just gonna copy it over super quick. And here's what that sounds like. Just a little bit of something to add to it. And the next thing I did was added another hat. It's a reverse hat, another sample. It's 13 hi-hat, sounds like that. Drag and drop that in as well. And just adds a little bit extra, color to those hi-hats. And the next thing I did was I added a kick called a Foreign Tech Allen kick. I think I've used it on another beat so far. Sounds like that has a really nice thump to it. I actually EQ'd it and I saturated it a little bit to just add a little distortion to it. So here's the kick. I wish I did more to this kick. I didn't realize how little I did. I didn't really do anything, but that is literally it. It still worked out pretty well. I still like this beat a lot. And then the last thing I did was I went and added an 808. This 808 is called Sony Digital 808 22. Yeah, cool. Not too crazy. Here's the 808. Alright, that's it. That is literally the beat. So let me go ahead and just adjust those 808s. And here's what the whole thing sounds like. So yeah, that's how I made the beat for 26. Got another record coming out on Friday. beautiful. Go cop some merch while you're at it. Yeah, until next time. Peace.